Do something a little different. We're going to go over 5 hacks that I developed and I learned that really impacted my sleep quality this past few years. Okay, so let's go start with our screen share. Okay, and let's go see what we can do right now. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, and we're going to go through this right quickly. Okay, so we'll start off with the question. In the next few minutes, what do Jack Dorsey, okay, Prince Harry, okay, and LeBron have in common, right? So if you guessed the R ring, you're pretty sharp, okay? So what is the R ring? R ring is something that's, you may have seen it on Instagram, you may see it being super hyped, right? But before LeBron, Harry, and Jack Dorsey's founder Twitter wore this, it was super helpful. And I got this as well. I can't say if I was before them or not, but a few things happened after I started the R ring, right? So I started kind of having some attention on my sleep quality, right, which was helpful. By focusing my attention on my sleep quality, it kind of helped me understand the next thing, right? Number two, how many minutes of deep sleep and REM sleep do I need to have an optimal night, right? So that ring is pretty crazy in that it has a lot of analytics and metrics, right? So you can kind of track a few things, right? It gives you a readiness score, it gives you kind of your sleep, it breaks your sleep down into different metrics, right? So for me, over a few months, I learned that if I get 2 hours of REM and 30 minutes at least of deep, I'm fine. I feel great, right? And so days when I don't get those, I'm like, I feel a little off, right? And so that awareness of that really helped me out. Another thing that you'll notice is over time, kind of resting heart rate. That's kind of a mixture of kind of how working out, cardio, the mix of weights of cardio, so forth, sleep as well, sleep quality, right? So readiness was interesting in the sense that my HRV score, this is kind of correlating with myself. I noticed that if I ate something really late at night or got really worked up, then it prior day had like some, upset or something that frustrated me a lot, this would get hit really badly, okay? I also noticed if I was super dehydrated, this would be impacted really badly. And so kind of interesting on kind of discovering that, optimize my habits to improve that. That could also help me out with feeling more focused, right? And so, over time, like the reason why it's super helpful to have the R ring is it really kind of starts building that sort of accountability into you, and you kind of are more aware, right? And I kind of picked up this habit from Mark McCormack. He was the founder of IMG Sports, and so I'm like, super curious about how people, individuals like this who are really driven, kind of lead their lives. And so he was known to track his sleep, his what he ate, like every day, how many hours of sleep he got when he woke up, right? And that was interesting. And then that kind of dovetails with Derek Jeter, right? And Derek Jeter, he was just a creature of habit, right? If you learn anything about him, it's not that he was super talented. He was talented, right? But he took it to the next level because he woke up the same day. He woke up at the same time every day, and he was just like everything else was just habitual, right? Everything he did was the same time, like same thing, right? So you learn about these habits. You're like, oh, great, very interesting, okay. And so the consistency that you learn from kind of the R ring is something I think that's super important in terms of like your wake up time, being able to wake up the same time every day. That's something I picked up from it ultimately, right? That really helped me out and kind of getting and making sure I got the deep sleep and REM sleep. And then two other things that were kind of interesting were a recommendation from Sam Altman. So Sam Altman was super integral to kind of building out Y Combinator. And he kind of recommended something called the LED light. And I was like, what is this, right? So he was saying, hey, it's a ridiculous game for me. If you're like me and you suffer from kind of like seasonal affective disorder, and sometimes you wake up like a little depressed, you're like, what's going on, right? Sometimes that might be a sign of a few things. You have a D3 deficiency, vitamin D3, so walk outside can be helpful. But if you're like us and you work in an office all day, right, it's tough to get enough, right? And so sometimes you kind of require this light. And so I got this LED light and I just tried it. 20 minutes in the morning, turn this guy on, right? And it's super weird, right? But reading for 20 minutes and having it and applying it really kind of made my mood higher and elevated. And so when you start off kind of more positive and upbeat, that certainly helps, right? And so it's really not that pricey in terms of kind of what it is, but the benefits you get from it are kind of interesting. So that's something I would recommend trying, circadian light, optic light. And then the last thing that was kind of super helpful to me was when I was winding down at night. I noticed I had a lot of eye strain, and my eyes would kind of be burning from staring at a computer screen for so long. And so, basically using like blue light blocker glasses is helpful, but also taking it to the next level and using like anti-glare night driving glasses. So these things right here, wow, game changer. So I spent a whole day kind of wearing this like this, like and staring at a screen. I had no eye strain whatsoever, right? And it's just like, wow, it's you look a little odd. And it's kind of like when my favorite NFL player says, if you want to act, want to make some change, you have to act a little strange, right? So it's kind of one of those things, but this is just really super helpful in terms of reducing eye strain. And also if you're staring at a computer screen or a monitor at the end of the day, helping you wind down, right? Because the blue light kind of helps keep you stay like keeps you up, right? So kind of having a blue light blocker was super helpful. Okay. So, these are some, habits I picked up that helped out kind of my sleep quality and habits. And I hope that you can kind of find some utility in kind of exploring these. And thank you so much for your time.